Loving Vincent is directed by Dorota Kobiela and Hugh Welchman and stars Douglas Booth, Saoirse Ronan, Jerome Flynn, and Chris O'Dowd. Vincent van Gogh has been dead for a year, and his dear friend Armand Rollin, played by Douglas Booth, is setting out to try and find what happened to Van Gogh. He's attempting to send this letter, the final letter that Van Gogh had written his brother Theo, but he's unsuccessful. And in his journey, he finds out what Van Gogh's life and his art really meant to people. It is a film that has been painstakingly animated with oil paintings by a team of 115 artists. Basically, they shot the movie as you might normally see it, but all on green screens. And then they do a rough animated version of what is happening, and then they take every single frame of this movie, 65,000 frames, and they get a team of 115 artists to hand paint in the style of Vincent van Gogh, oil painting style, every single frame. I've never seen a film like this. The kind of rotoscope animation that they're doing here is a little reminiscent of the Richard Linklater films Waking Life and A Scanner Darkly. Its attempt to emulate Van Gogh's style feels so natural. It feels like something that you should do when you're trying to tell a story about Vincent van Gogh's life. It is truly incredible to watch, and sure, this movie could get a nomination for Best Animated Feature Film, mainly because it's better than a lot of other animated movies of this year. However, the problem that Loving Vincent has is that as beautiful as it looks and how great the score is by Clint Mansell, and there are some pretty decent performances, the problem that it has is that the story is completely boring. You're amazed pretty much for most of it by that visual style, but then you start to feel a sense of normalcy. You start to get used to what it looks like, and then you realize this movie has nothing really new to tell. It's trying to tell you the story of Vincent van Gogh, but I kept thinking, okay, so they're doing Citizen Kane where they just interview people that interacted with him in his life, and we just see the character himself in flashbacks. But the problem that this movie again has is that while it's trying to do that Citizen Kane thing, the reason why Citizen Kane works is because we can still get some fantastic scenes out of Orson Welles playing that character. Here, Vincent van Gogh has no dialogue whatsoever except for just what people recount what he said. He might have a few tiny little lines buried throughout there, but we can barely hear them because there's some other voiceover going on around us. What is the purpose of making this movie all about his life when we never actually get to feel like he's a character in his own movie? The visual style that this movie is using is just simply masking what is a very dull story filled with kind of flat characters. They are performed well by pretty talented actors, but I just still didn't really care by the end of it. It's unfortunate for me to say that Loving Vincent, as beautiful as it looks, is just a very uninteresting movie in the end. And I'd have to say that Loving Vincent is a film that you're probably better off watching on a plane. So Loving Vincent, have you seen it? Please tell me what you think about it in the comments below. There are going to be videos linked down here or one over there. For more Mr. Movies, please press my little face right there. Thanks for watching.
Starry, starry night, paint your palette blue and gray.